What's up, icons? It's the iconic fashion figure back with a new video, and today I'm finally gonna go through what apps and software you can use to create your sketches for your new line that you are designing. I have been trying really hard to find apps that you guys can use either on your phone or on a tablet so that way you can create your designs on the go. Me personally, I prefer to do it all from a computer, but some of you may not have that option or just prefer not to use that option and prefer to do it on a mobile device. So I did try to do research, but let me just warn you, it's not easy to find that. Back in college when I needed something to use on the go, I tried to search then, and 10 years later it's pretty much the same options. There's really not much out there, but I'm going to share with you what I found. So the first app is Preta Template. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but that's what it looks like to me. But basically on there you can choose a silhouette, which they do have men's, kids, and women's. And on the silhouette you can either draw out your designs. They also have like pre-created designs on there that you can choose from. There's also some paid ones, so you'll see free and paid. And then there is like the pencil where you can actually draw in. So let's say you chose one of their designs but you want to alter it a bit, you can use the pencil to alter things. You can change the color, shade it in. They do have a few options on there that you can use, especially for those of you that know how to draw. That will be a good one to use because they already have the silhouette there for you and all you have to do is trace it out. The only thing to me is it's hard to do it on a phone sitting there drawing. If you have a stylist, that is better, but still to me is not as precise, but it is something to help you get your point across. You can also insert photos from your camera roll. So if you have designs already on your camera roll and you just want to add it to a body, or if you have a fabric or something you want to insert, you can do that as well. So the next app is the Fashion Design app, and then that app is more for flat sketches, so not necessarily on a silhouette, which the first app you can do flat sketches too, but Fashion Design app is more focused on flat sketches. So they have pre-created templates on there again that you can choose from. And let's say you go with like a top, you can choose the neckline, you can choose the fit if you want it loose or fitted, and you could pick like the sleeves and everything like that. Once you pick the basics that they require you to choose from, you can then go in the app and again you can draw on there. You can add different trims. Only thing that I don't like about this app is you can't add color, you can't add fabric, so it's literally just a black and white sketch. But of course, if you're just trying to get your point across, to make a quick sketch of something, you can use that app to start out with their templates if you can't draw the actual design, and then add on any additional details you want to add on later. And then from there you can save that to your camera roll. But those are pretty much the two apps that I'll talk about as far as creating your design. That is all there, at least on iPhone. Android may have more options. I don't have an Android device anywhere around for me to be able to check it for you guys, but for iPhone, which I'm sure those apps are also available for Android, those are pretty much our only options right now, unless you use like a sketch pad from the App Store and you can free draw. Which leads me to the next way of creating your designs. You can just hand draw things. If there's something that you see, you can use an image as your guide. You can even print out an image and trace it to get your point across. Basically all you're trying to do is get the point across of what you need designed. So of course hand drawing is always there for you to use if you need to. And then for the next app, this is more for those of you that want to not necessarily create a line from scratch, but want to take blanks like a t-shirt, hoodie, sweatpants, some items that are already designed and you want to add your own graphics and logos to it. There's apps like Super T-shirt where you can pick an item right out of their catalog and start adding your own graphics and your own logos to it. There's also some graphics that are pre-made that you can use, which I'll have to do a separate video for graphics, but there's a ton of different apps you can use your phone just to create those graphics and then import them into this app and add it to the garments. There's quite a few apps that are like that out there that you can use, and then there's also online websites for those of you that prefer to do it from a computer. So there's like aberlo.com. You can do the same thing where you can create your mockups with your graphics. You can do placeit.net. That one's another one. They have more like live photos where it looks like you actually did a photo shoot and you can add your graphics on there. And then like Samar that I showed you guys in a previous video as one of the vendors, that may be be where you buy your blanks from, and then they also have their software where you can create the mock-ups as well. So there's quite a few options for you guys that are out there. You can also just take images that you are finding a product you want to buy and use those images and add your graphics in different apps, like the Pixar app. You can do layers, so you can add the one picture first and then add your graphics on top of it. Actually, Pixar, you can actually create the graphics in there too, but that's for another video. And then of course, for the software I use to create my design, which I'm going to do another video that's already in the works to show you guys actually creating the design. I'll try to incorporate some of these other apps and softwares too, so that way you guys can see them all in action. But the software that I use is Illustrator, which is an Adobe software that you used to be able to buy on a disc, and now they have this monthly service that you have to pay for. But if you can get your hands on Illustrator, it is amazing. It'll do everything you need it to do. You can create your flat sketches, you can create the designs on a body, you can add in the fabrics, you can add in the colors, you can do everything you need to do as far as your designs. A lot of fashion designers tend to use that software, but of course there's a ton of other softwares you can use that you can buy and create your design. Now, as far as the fabrics and colors and everything, where I pull that information from, for color I literally use Pantone.com. They usually have the list of colors for that season and what everyone's going to be wearing that season, the hot colors. They show you color of the year. I use Pantone.com to figure out what colors I want to incorporate in my line. And then for fabrics, to get like the fabric swatches that I want to add into my design, you can easily just use Google Images and find different fabrics and incorporate that into your design. If you start using a software where you can create that design from A to Z and add the fabrics in there, then you can make sure you get the swatches big enough to add it to the design. Otherwise, you can just put the fabric swatch to the side. I also will use some of the different fabric store websites. So for instance, just go on Joann's.com and they have the fabric pictures there. You can use those and incorporate that into your designs as well. Another great place to find the colors and fabric, like I mentioned in a previous video, is Pinterest. You can find the images on there, you can find the color stories on there, portray into your design. And then the last thing, which is probably the best for everyone, especially if you don't know how to draw, just simply go on Google Images and find flat sketches. You can use those flat sketches and you can trace them, whether it's digital or on paper. So like I mentioned to you, some of the apps, you can use layers. So you can put the layer of the flat sketch and then use a pencil to draw over. Of course, you don't want to steal someone's exact design, but let's say you have a couple different flat sketches. So you can find a flat sketch of like a sleeve or belt or a pant leg of a different fit. So if it's skinny, if you want wide leg, you can find those different flat sketches, trace them over, and put it all together into your one design. If you're drawing it by hand, you just print it out and then trace over it. If you're doing it digital, you just do your layers and you draw over it, and then you can remove that layer or hide that layer so it's not showing in your sketch. But the next video, probably not the next video for this week, but next weekend, I'll actually go through and show you exactly how to do all that. But that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to give a rundown of the different software and apps that you guys can use for those of you that are ready to just jump in and go ahead and start designing yourself. For those of you that want me to slow it down a bit and actually show you how it's done, that video is already in the works, so it'll probably be up next weekend, so that way you guys can see that. I'll sit there and do sketches. You probably won't hear me talking much in that video. You'll just be watching me sketch, so I can show you how to do those things. I'll walk you through it, but I won't talk as much as like this video. Thank you for watching.